I remember it so very clearly. It was a bright, sunny afternoon. I was only 5 years old back then. The sun felt wonderfully warm on my face. I was sitting all by myself in our back garden. Small white daisies dotted the green grass. Butterflies fluttered past my nose. Suddenly, quite unexpectedly, Michael was there. He just appeared, as if by magic. He smiled, and I knew we were going to be the best of friends. Michael was not like the other children I sometimes saw. He had hair the colour of autumn leaves. It always looked a little bit messy in a nice way. His eyes were a kind, gentle blue, like the sky on a perfect summer's day. He wore simple clothes, a stripy top and comfy jeans. He always had a friendly smile just for me. He wasn't loud or boisterous at all. He was quiet and thoughtful and always understood. He was my very first, very best friend. Our bond was instant, a secret spark between us. He understood everything I said, even my muddled-up thoughts. He never laughed if I said something silly. He just listened with his head tilted a bit. It felt so special to have someone like Michael. Someone who was always there for me. We didn't need lots of words sometimes. We just knew what the other was thinking. He made the lonely afternoons feel full and happy. He was my constant, wonderful companion. The grown-ups, like my mum, couldn't see Michael. When I talked about him, she would just smile. "That's nice, dear," she would often say. Or, "What a wonderful imagination you have." I didn't mind too much that they couldn't see him. It made him feel like our secret even more special. Michael was real to me. More real than anything. He was my friend, my partner in every game. He didn't need to be seen by anyone else. As long as I could see him, that was all that mattered. We had the most amazing tea parties together. Usually we'd set them up under the big oak tree. Its branches made a lovely shady roof for us. We used big flat leaves for our special plates. Shiny red berries became our pretend sweet cakes. Dandelion heads were like little lemon tarts. Michael always said they were the best he'd ever tasted. He had such good manners at our tea parties. He'd sip his pretend tea so delicately. We would chat for ages, just him and me. Another thing we loved was styling Michael's hair. His auburn hair was so interesting to play with. It was always a little bit wild and free. I would gather flowers from the garden beds, daisies, buttercups, and sometimes even rose petals. I'd carefully weave them into his locks. Sometimes I'd use colourful ribbons Mum had spare. He would sit so still and let me fuss over him. He never complained, not even once. He just smiled, telling me I was a great hairdresser. Our days were filled with countless other games. We built magnificent dens from old blankets and chairs. Inside it was our secret castle. Safe from dragons, we would draw treasure maps of the garden. X marked the spot where we buried shiny pebbles. The overgrown bit at the bottom was our jungle. We'd creep through it, pretending to be explorers. Michael was always brave, even when we heard strange noises. Every day with him was a brand new adventure. He made even ordinary things seem exciting. Those times we shared were truly magical, you see. Michael made everything feel so much more fun. He was the best listener in the whole wide world. He always had the most brilliant ideas for games. He never got bored of my stories or my chatter. Having him there meant I was never truly alone. He was my shadow, my echo, my other half. Our secret world was full of laughter and whispers. It was a world only we knew, and it was perfect. He was the best playmate anyone could ever wish for. Then I had to start proper school. It was a big, noisy place with lots of new faces. There were so many new games to learn and so many rules I had to remember. I told some of the children about Michael, about our tea parties and our jungle adventures. They just stared at me with blank expressions, or sometimes they would giggle behind their hands. They didn't understand about Michael, not really. It made me feel a bit shy to talk about him. The teachers were kind, but they were like Mum. They'd smile, that same gentle, knowing smile. "It's good to play with the other children too," they'd say. Mum started to say it more often as well. "Why don't you invite Sarah or Tom over to play?" It felt like Michael's parents were disapproving, not his real parents, because he didn't have those. but the grown-up voices in my head, I suppose. They wanted me to join the real world more and leave my secret world with Michael behind. Slowly, I began to spend more time with my school friends. We'd play tag in the playground until we were breathless. We'd share our lunchbox treats and secrets. It was exciting, learning new games and making new pals. Michael would still be waiting for me in the garden. When I got home from school, he'd be there, but sometimes I was too tired to play our old games. Or I had homework to do, boring sums and spellings. His smile seemed a little less bright sometimes. I tried not to notice, but part of me did. A feeling of guilt would sometimes prickle inside me, especially when I saw Michael looking a bit sad. Or when he suggested an adventure and I said no. But the pull of new experiences was so very strong. The laughter of my school friends was loud and inviting. I wanted to be part of their world too. It was hard to balance both, my old world and the new. Michael never complained, he just waited patiently. But I knew deep down things were starting to change. Our special bond was beginning to stretch thin. Gradually, almost without me noticing at first, Michael changed. He started to become fainter, a little harder to see. His voice, once so clear in my ears, grew softer, like a whisper on the wind, easy to miss. Our adventures in the garden became less frequent. Sometimes I'd forget he was even there for a while. He seemed more like a dream I was waking up from, a lovely dream, but one that couldn't last forever. The colours of his stripy top seemed less vibrant. He was slowly, quietly starting to fade away. Then came the day I realized he was truly gone. I had a free afternoon, no homework, no school friends. I went into the garden, calling his name. "Michael! Michael, where are you? Let's play!" But there was no answer, just the rustling leaves. The big oak tree stood silent, its branches empty. The daisies still dotted the grass, but he wasn't among them. I called again and again, my voice getting smaller. Just silence, a big empty silence where he used to be. He had vanished as quietly as he had arrived. A deep, hollow sadness settled over me then. It felt like a big grey cloud had covered the sun. I felt so lonely, more lonely than before I knew him. It was a strange kind of abandonment I felt, even though I knew deep down in my heart that I had been the one to slowly let him go. I had chosen the new world over our secret one. The garden seemed empty without him, too quiet. All our special places just looked ordinary now. Losing him was like losing a part of myself. Now, when I look back, I remember Michael so fondly. He taught me so much about true companionship. He showed me the incredible power of imagination, and he taught me about the bittersweet ache of growing up, of friendships that change or gently fade like mist. He was the most wonderful first friend a girl could have, even if he was only truly real in my heart and mind. He made my world magical for a precious time, and those memories, I will keep them safe always. My dear forgotten friend, Michael.